It feels like one of those healing times for the collective. So here's a Rumi message. Let's see what message we have from Rumi for our sacred Saturday. Perhaps it's one of those times for yourself too. Okay. It's your soul experiencing a healing, an uprising in healing. Okay. So Brother Rumi, our brother who loves us without condition, what's the message for the collective today? Thank you. What's the message for the collective today, please? Thank you, Rumi. And that's a good message for the collective today. We have a long message. So we have 3 cards. We have card, which way am I going to read them? We have card 12, Divine Discontent. We have card 20, the all-encompassing hand. And card 36, Passion of the Wild Red Mother. Okay. So there's our cards. And we have Star Mother Akaris at the bottom of the deck. There we go. So let's try and make some more space. Let's move this card. Oops, this way. Okay. Marvelous. So this is our message today from our brother Rumi, who loves us without condition. So we have card 12, card 20, and card 36. Okay, so let's begin. Winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. Rumi. I know your heart, I hear it breaking and groaning in darkest nights, when you imagine yourself to be silently cast adrift in sleep. It speaks to me, that sacred heart of yours, whispering its longing and bemoaning its divine discontent. It knows when something is amiss. It senses that something is not quite right as yet. There is a piece of the puzzle missing, even in its tremendous gratitude for all that is. And there is so much gratitude and sweet appreciation in that precious heart of yours. There is a murmuring, a questing. It cries out to heaven, vouchsafe me a blessing. I cannot go on. I am broken and in need of your tenderness for healing. I am empty and in need of filling, not with stuff and bits, but with the most precious nectar of divine fulfillment. Nothing else will satisfy me. Please, please restore me to wholeness. I can bear this missing piece, this broken disarray no longer. I listen and I cajole that wise heart of yours. I praise it for its beauty, for its honesty and longing, for the longing is an irresistible perfume to the beloved, attracting the only salve that will soothe the divine discontent of your truth-speaking heart, that of divine presence, absolute and unquestionable. You are the essence of my existence. Who am I? A mirror in your hand. Whatever you do, I will do. I am your irresistible reflection. With every breath I feel my heart is beating with yours. In your joy, I am exuberant. In your sadness, I am in sorrow. If you are bitter, I become bitter. If you are grace, I become grace. My joy is when I am bewildered in your beauty and taste the sweetness of love on your lips. If I pick a rose without you, it becomes a thorn in my hand. If I am the thorn, I become the rose in your hand. Rumi. I have held your hand in mine for so long that I have long since ceased to distinguish where your sacred flesh once felt separate from mine. This sacred gasp, this sacred grasp, pulses with love divine. And there is one hand holding and held, one loving, one being, loving and loved. Though we may appear to be less ecstatic angels, to be two, the love that gives us this handfast, beloved, is so powerful we could spin the entire universe upon its axis, and still our hands would be joined gently and yet enduringly in unfailing love and sublime friendship. Don't ask the conscious ones about the wine. Behold the glowing effect of it in the eyes of drunks. Rumi. Bring me your unreasonableness, your insanity, your love without reason, and your passion, the passion that makes you crazy and shoos all logical restraint from the mind. Leave your ordered thoughts, sensible plans, and appropriate attire at my door. Put on your animal fur and sing to me in gibberish. When my beautiful goat dies, when my beautiful goats die, I make drums from their skins and their spirits live on in my passionate play. When my birds drop their feathers, I gather them up and put them in my hair. Come, drum with me, as I place feathers in your hair, and we honour the spirits of my animals, of your animal nature too, wild and free as you are in truth. Stick your tongue out and growl at those who try to tame you with guilt, shame and fear. Do you think I give a damn for any of their silly games? Those games of reason and logic. Of course, you should do it this way, they say. It makes sense. But I care not for what makes sense. I care for what brings you alive. There is a sense within you, perhaps quite obvious to your conscious mind, or perhaps only dimly registered as an unnameable underlying sense of anxiety, that something in your life is not quite right. It may be the sense, even amongst so much gratitude, of a yearning yet to be met, a longing yet to be fulfilled and satisfied. This is the pain of the awakening heart. That heart is capable of bliss and ecstatic reverence for the sheer beauty and wonder of creation. Yet, as the heart matures, there will be a process of deep, passionate longing that awakens for the divine. It is the impatience for the caress of the great lover, for the presence of the divine to come to you. Over time, that longing will grow from a mild inner sense of incompleteness, needing to become whole. It will develop into a holy fever, a sacred rage, a stamping of dancing feet, a pounding of fists upon the altar, and a longing so deep and distressing that one may well break into tears at the impossibility of bearing the pain of apparent separation for even a moment longer. Where is my beloved? Cries the awakening heart. I call for my beloved, and yet here I am, still waiting. I can stand this no longer. As devotion grows and passion for the divine intensifies, so too does this yearning. So much so that this may come to feel as though your heart is breaking for the divine. Or perhaps you are not quite there yet. Your heart is attached to smaller gods, such as your status, your symbol, your status, your job, your lover, your body looking a certain way, or being able to live your life in a particular way. These smaller gods are not necessarily an issue, yet you have drawn this oracle, and so it is guidance for you that the divine wants to draw you closer. Sometimes that means we will have to make the meager meal wrested from our hands, so we may feast upon something far more delectable and grand. The divine is a fiercely possessive lover. If there is a face of another beloved preventing you from longing for the divine embrace, and if you cannot see that it is the divine beloved within your lover that you are loving, well then, something will be done by heaven. So make your relationships sacrosanct. Seek the divine in all things. When you cannot, when the power of lesser gods has you in its grip, acknowledge it, bear witness to it. Do not chastise, instead be truthful. Let your heart break and lie prostrate on the floor, hands clutching and head bowed, as though only your sadness and plight could stir the heart of the divine beloved into descent of succour and grace, saving you from a life far too bland, from your exquisite Epicurean palate. Just don't misinterpret the pain and think that something really is wrong. If you are surrounded by status and money and cannot understand why you should mourn, it is even more important that you allow yourself to do so. Mourning is to be felt. Understanding is not so relevant. But if you must seek understanding, then know this, dear blazing angel. You are just waking from the deepest slumber, and with your awakening heart, you are realizing a truth, a part of you, deeper and wider, vaster and more instinctive, truthful and intelligent than your mind, is lonely for the divine embrace. That is right. This is right. This is sensible. This is sanctity. This is sanity. It is the pain, the real noble pain of the heart, that says there is something more than this inadequacy, this settling for plastic instead of precious gemstones that must end now. I cannot be fed by pixelated sunsets in animation upon my computer screen. I yearn to be blasted by so much radiance and beauty, by the real thing, that I become stupefied. I must witness so much divine splendor that all I can utter is some incoherent grunt, my mind dissembled and my heart ignited by the presence of the beloved. I want to become a fumbling, ecstatic wreck in the presence of my beloved. I want to allow this pain, this yearning, this divine discontent to guide me to my holy lover, so my life may never be the same again. And so it shall be. The discontent divine growing within you is the beginning, not the destiny. Its purpose is to lead you into your greatest connection yet with divinity. Do not resist it. Witness it. Do not dismiss it, trying to cover up its smell with rose petals. Let your rank discontent be the pathway to divinity. Look beyond what is, what has been prized and treasured, and is now found to be plated, and not the precious gold it was once esteemed to be. Don't be scared, for you are my sidekick on this great holy adventure. I am here, you see, just around the corner. I have you in my sights, though you may not see me yet. I am holding a fresh loaf of bread, hot from the kitchen of the Creator, hoping to entice you with its wafting scent, tempting you to follow me on towards something of far more substance. If you are still stuck on pine-scented air freshener, imagining it is akin to the wild scent of the pine forests for real, then how can I tempt you? Let the stench be the stench. Then the fragrance of God can be discerned, and together we can leave what is less behind once and for all, grabbing like hungry school children for the divine bread with sweet fresh scent, filling the air. Perhaps you are in need of assistance, dearest one. Perhaps you have been feeling somewhat alone on your path, or struggling with a matter deep within your precious, beautiful heart, and speaking of it to no one. Such loneliness that can foster in the heart, with no one to bear witness to your life experience. You may question your life, your sanity, your truths, and create doubt where no doubt need be. This must stop now. You are worthy of so much more, and this suffering is not essential for your growth now. It is time to let it be and to open up to the touch of grace. So this oracle comes to you as the hand of the divine. It is the all-encompassing hand, the hand that has no limitation upon the blessings it can bestow, upon the troubles it can lift from you, upon the tenderness it can communicate to you through sacred touch. Allow that divine hand to reach for you, beloved. Do not turn it away. Do not let old shame, guilt, or mistaken notions of false independence keep you from accepting this heavenly hand. This hand reaches to gently wipe away tears of the past. It will deftly unravel the ties that have bound your own hands, preventing you from fully giving and receiving according to your worth, which is incontestable and without limit. This divine hand will reach for you in your meditations, your sleep, and your prayers. It will reach for you through life circumstances, through the smile or hug you receive from another, or the touch of another human being. It will reach you through the song of a bird, the falling of leaves, the soft fur of a beloved pet, through song lyrics that seem to speak what you are feeling deep inside, or the colourful dress of the stranger across the street who catches your eye and makes you smile. This divine hand is reaching for you now through this oracle. Yes, says the great beloved, I am reaching for you. Yes, I know you. You are my own. I would never abandon you. Perhaps you have turned away from me unknowingly, forgotten how much I love you because the world is in a forgetful daze too, and ignores the caress of the breeze, the joyful acknowledgement of every sunrise, and the reverence made radiant in every sunset. Life is the touch bestowed by my hand. Shall you receive me? Let me love you. Let me restore your soul and remind you there is nothing to fear now. Come, lay down your weapons and your fear for this moment. Quit using that mouth to cry for war or to cry in despair. Bring yourself to my table and use that mouth to taste some bold and rich wine instead. Enjoy with me in this moment the unbreakable bond that lies between us. Allow me to bring the cup of wine to your lips. Behind your head, so gently, lies my all-encompassing hand. Know the peace of my love, so deeply can it register with you now, that you shall never again forget it. There may be a situation or circumstance in your life that you may feel is somehow unable to be solved. This oracle comes with reassurance that there is nothing beyond the reach of the divine hand of grace. All can be solved, all can be resolved. There is always a higher, better, more beautiful outcome possible. You are asked to pray, using the sacred honouring ritual, and to do so with conviction. The divine has this situation in hand, and all is unfolding as it should be. Ask for help each day by saying, I ask for help this day in all ways, through unconditional love. Thank you. You can be more specific in your request, asking for help in a particular relationship or project too, if you wish. The divine wants to lend you a hand. You must ask for help first, however, so ask. Empower that all-powerful hand of grace to bless your life and all circumstances, relationships and situations that have been or are yet to be for you. You, O blazing angel, are being invited by the wild red mother to participate in a dance, of divine passion. You may be an activist, a poet, an advocate for justice, or a writer, content in your own world of dreams. Or perhaps you are a healer, devoted to the liberation of the suffering of others and hungry to commune with ancient wisdom. Perhaps you are all of these, or some other exquisite, I can't even read this word, amalgam of holy energy is in form. Okay. Whatever your energy, there is passion in your heart, a fire for something more powerful than fear that can become the fuel for your life energy, for your life journey. If you accept the invitation of the wild red mother, of course. This is the invitation to lay aside despair, to lay aside doubt in the capacity of the human heart, even your frustration and impatience. It is time to quit whipping yourself and others, no matter how noble the intention behind the whip may be, and start dancing instead. Will you join her, the wild red mother, in her exuberant play? You can choose to lead through joy, to heal through love, to transform suffering into what is meant to be. The crucible through which ecstasy reveals itself. You do not have to analyze, to stay in the throes of process and ordered stages. You can just choose this passionate path now, if you wish. You are ready. It is open to you. Will you accept? It takes a great spirit, one with much practice of studied rebellion, to be ready to cast off the shackles of society from a place of loving defiance rather than fearful anger, and to playfully say to the world, I have tasted your stale bread and underdeveloped wine and have had quite enough now. I decline your offer to gorge upon such lesser fruits. I prefer to feast upon bread, hot and fresh, and wine that is mouth-filling and unctuous. Join me if you like. It is an abundant feast, and there is plenty for all. Even in the spiritually minded, there can be a driving fear, thinly veiled as devotion to the most arduous path. Perhaps for a while that serves as a truth of sorts, but eventually there will come a time when smaller truths must give way to larger ones, so the soul can truly be free to grow. Passion is the bridge that leads you from a smaller truth that suffering is necessary in order to heal, towards a larger and more luscious experience of life as a divine embrace. Yes, sometimes the divine lover, in all enthusiasm for the sport, bites you too hard or grabs you with so much desire that a bruise remains. However, the passion behind such fervent embrace can leave you begging for more life, for more of that boundless love, even when it knocks you on the head whilst grabbing for you. This is possible when you give up on judgment of what is good and what is bad, on what is apparently spiritual and what is not, and when you just realize everything in your life is leading to love. Whether through caress or a slap, the divine lover is seducing you. If you can accept this, you can certainly give yourself permission to love what you love, to live how you wish to live, and to forget about holding yourself back because some choices make sense and others supposedly do not. If you are able to rise to the passion that is possible for you, you'll let the wild red mother consume your philosophies and doctrines. She'll feast on your religion and your plans and devour your doubts and uncertainties. She'll tear away your need for maps and directions. Just when you think there's nothing left, she'll grab your hands and spin with you. You'll tilt back your head and laugh so wildly with her, spinning together along with the earth upon her axis. With a daring and bold love for life that will not be quashed, that wild mother speaks to you now. You can choose passion over fear time and time again. So I invite you to paint the whole world red with me, with passionate nature. Let us laugh and change the world. This oracle comes to you with a message. It is a big, cosmic yes. It is also an invitation to let go of suffering and struggle, not with regret or shame, but with gentle acknowledgement that it has had its purpose. It now has a bigger purpose, that of passion, which calls you to engage in the life, calls you to engage in the embrace of life with more abandon than ever before. Now is the time to let go of belief systems and needing to know anything. It is time to trust in the beating of your own heart and in the people, places and experiences that truly move you, whether it makes sense or appears to be logical or not. The wild red mother comes to you when you are ready for her at a soul level. Your mind may think she is a thief in the night, ready to pilfer all you hold near and dear, and be utterly in terror at the prospect. But your soul will be gurgling with such anticipation of freedom it will fill your heart with sweet love and urge you to let go. Let her have her way with you, even if it means she crashes into you in the dark as she fumbles and drags you, half asleep, to go out dancing with her under the full moon, wearing nothing but your animal's skin and a smile. She'll soothe away any bumps and bruises you receive in opening up to life with the most tender and effective of ministrations, for she is just as tender a nurse as she is a wild, raging dance partner. You have divine permission to do something ridiculous, be it ridiculous in your own mind for your age or career path, or some identity or version of yourself you or another hold. The more ridiculous or inappropriate it seems, the more it moves you from your heart without rhyme or reason, the better. This is not about hurting people or behaving without moral code. It is not about childish indulgence and questionable justification for letting the ego misbehave. It is not about the ego at all. The wild red mother eats ego for breakfast. This guidance is about listening to the truth of your heart and allowing your soul to throb with aliveness, making that more important than any restriction, opinion, judgment or fear the mind, yours or that of others, could ever summon. So now we have the blessing of Star Mother Akaris. So be the king who has made his own kingdom. Be the moon that has made her own summit. How much longer will you cuckoo like a pigeon? Empty your head of all mortal lusts and become life without breath. You will not call out for God any more, for you will have become immersed in God. Your star mother, Arrakis, dances with your soul on the celestial inner planes. She dances in the embrace of Father Sky, shining white and pale, deep in devotion to the light behind all that is. Arrakis, dancing star of the heavens, incites our souls to feel the rhythm of life and surrender to it in flow, in grace, stumbling and in play. Like a child who thinks not of the right steps, but just moves with music and with joy. She reminds you to dance freely and from your heart. She reminds you that your soul is constantly dancing with the divine. What better way to connect with the joy and beauty of your soul than to mimic its movements? So dance, beloved, let your being dance. O Arrakis, your bright beauty penetrates even the darkest of minds to remember, remember, remember. She calls out, her voice is music to our hearts. You are a child of heaven. You are born of such regal stuff, dear dancing child of the stars. When you suffer, I send you my comfort as stars falling from the sky. When you triumph, my dance becomes wild and light erupts from my heart in all directions. The light becomes music, stirring within you with an urge, almost inexplicable and yet so very deep and real. To make music, to create art, to dance, to play, to be at one with the joyful, creative energy that dwells within you, beloved. So if you would like to finish this reading with me, with this healing process, the sacred honouring ritual, then place your hands open before you and say the following aloud. I call on the passionate, wild red mother who loves me without condition, and the brother of my soul, Rumi. I ask for your guardianship onto the path of divine passion now. May I lead with my heart, dance in life without fear, and surrender into truth, singing with my soul, becoming a leader of the new way of love upon this sacred earth. It is safe for me to be in my wild divinity. It is the only safe and true way for me to thrive. I am blessed now, and in the wild red mother's unconditionally loving protection and grace. So be it. And you have completed your sacred honoring ritual. We have completed today's reading. So much love. Bye for now.